So last week was Thanksgiving, so I decided that for the Daily Biscuit, I would do an interesting history on Thanksgiving that I'm sure many of you didn't know about. I didn't even know about as far as the in-depth detail until fairly recently. So what I did know originally is that in the fall of 1621, after a very harsh winter the previous year, uh, there were some pilgrims and natives that got together and had a celebration. It was a 3 day celebration that involved 90 indigenous Americans and the English settlers. So, but after that celebration, people forgot all about that meal. It became a distant memory at best uh, until 1841. So 1841, there was a book that was published that reprinted the letters and diaries from the Plymouth colony and the people there, and that brought to light the event that took place, that 3 day celebration. However, we still didn't catch on and celebrate from that point on. It wasn't until 1861 is when the Civil War started, when the Southern soldiers, Confederate soldiers, attacked Fort Sumter, uh, and so that's the official start of the Civil War. 1862, the North is still afloat as far as its existence. The Army's still standing, but it's struggling mightily. It's not making any progress. Confederate victory after Confederate victory, uh, and so people were starting to lose faith, lose hope in not just the North winning, but in democracy as a whole. Whether this great experiment was something that could be sustainable. So in November and December of 1862, there were 17 state governors in the North that declared a state of Thanksgiving holiday, and it was to acknowledge the loss and the suffering, and to keep Americans grateful, keep us fighting for the cause, loyal to the cause of the Union, the North. Well, things started taking a turn in 1863. There's a couple key victories as far as battles in the Civil War, the American Civil War. So things were getting better. 1863 and July 15th, President Lincoln declared the first national day of Thanksgiving, but that was on August. It was for August 6th of 1863, a Thursday also. And on that day, ministers from around the country listed the U.S. Army and Navy victories in front of their congregations and reassured their congregations as well that the U.S. government would end this rebellion from the South. Well, it didn't take much longer after that, 1863, on October 1863, that Lincoln declared a second national holiday for Thanksgiving, and that was to be the last Thursday of November, the one that we know of today. With that being said, the very first Thanksgiving was November 26th, 1863, 1 week after the Gettysburg Address. So it wasn't exactly about the pilgrims and the natives as far as from that point as the starting point. We kind of started integrating that later on as the purpose of it. But originally it was to acknowledge suffering and loss during the Civil War, and to keep the North loyal and supportive towards the cause, so that the loss of soldiers was not in vain. But yeah, that's your Daily Biscuit for today. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday, and I'll see you guys again on Wednesday for another Daily Biscuit, a shorter one. Take care.